Hey, what's going on? How are y'all doing? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about summer break and what I've been doing. So at the beginning of the summer, I started watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, and the first 12 minutes was like, oh my gosh, this feels exactly like I could have written it myself about where I spent my summers when I was younger. And then it got into like rich folk talk. But then it made me want to go through and look at all of the memories I have from my summers when I was younger. Look at all the pictures. Think about all the people I've met when I was there. Think about all the places we would go. The friends I had brought with me on many occasions. The friends I had brought with me the last time we went. There's just so much fun, and it all came from me watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, or reading it also. I've read so many books this summer, so many. It was a really big summer of reading, let's just say that. There was a lot of reading this summer. And one of the things I started to watch was The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then I decided to read along, like just read the books. The books are so much better. I loved the adaptation for the television series, but the book just, it felt better. I don't know why. It just was great. I loved sitting by the pool in the backyard on my little tanning chair, just listening. It was a vibe. It was a whole vibe. But for the first 12 minutes of the television show, the way that Belly was describing her summers at the beach house, I could have written it myself. I literally could have written it myself about my summers at the condo on the beach. So my parents had a condo. It was given to them as an anniversary present, and it was on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It was a timeshare condominium. They actually got a settlement because it was Hurricane Katrina destroyed it, like completely leveled it. I'll add some pictures here, but this is the aerial view of what it used to look like. And this is the aerial view of the destruction Hurricane Katrina left behind. So it was a lovely facility. There was 3 different buildings. There were multiple levels on each building. We lived in the most recent building. They weren't all built exactly the same time. One of the buildings was built first, and they were like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. And I'm not sure if they added on 2 of the other buildings together or if they did one and then the other. But it was a beautiful facility. They had a tennis court. They had 3 swimming pools, one of which was a hot tub, but a very large hot tub. So technically 2 pools and 1 hot tub. It was right on the beach. You just had to walk straight across Highway 90 or Beach Boulevard. I don't know if it's West. I think it's West Beach Boulevard right there, but you just had to walk across US 90 and you were on the beach. You can see the Grand Casino in the distance to the left if you were looking out into the ocean. And there was different things that we were able to do in the area, and some of the same people came the exact same week that we were there every year. So a lot of the people, when you had this timeshare, you basically bought like a week in the year, and I think we were like week 27 or 25, or the week that we were there almost always felt like it fell on the 4th of July week. So I remember being at the beach house, condo, whatever. I remember being there almost all of my 4th of Julys growing up. So I don't know what week exactly the 4th of July falls on, or it teeters between, I think probably 2 different weeks. But one of those weeks, we felt like we were always there for the 4th of July. And some other people also had timeshares for that specific week, and they did also go to the condos in that exact week every year, blah, blah, blah. So A lot of the people that were there we knew on a first name basis because we spent summers together in the same condominium facility. I'm not sure if condominium facility is the right word, but it was a wonderful time growing up. So during the day, anyone was permitted to come. It was basically any one of your friends that you wanted to invite over was able to come, but no one was supposed to stay the night. I have a lot of pictures from that time, and this was our room number. I'm gonna probably add these pictures to the video while I'm talking, and you can look at these pictures while I'm just discussing the similarities. Okay, after about 12 minutes, I was like, oh, well, that's that. All right, the only thing so far was like they were at this really nice beach house, but everything other than that, it was like, yeah, that's totally exactly how I would describe the condo. But after the 12-minute mark, when they started talking about the clubhouse, and I was like, oh my goodness, no, this is rich folks stuff. But let's go ahead and look. I'll tell you a little bit about it, and we'll look at some pictures. I just really enjoyed the summer. I'm so glad at the beginning of the summer I started reading this story because it just got me so nostalgic. And I was like, yes, okay. And I wanted to make sure that our summer was just as fun as a family. I spent most of my summers at the condo on the beach. It was in Gulfport. It was right on West Beach Boulevard or US 90. It was so much fun. The way Belly talks about the beach house is exactly how I would sound talking about the condo. I knew the radio stations and TV channels in the state we spent vacation in, almost like they were my local channels. Most times we saw the same families each year. The condo was on the beach, one state over from where I lived most of the time, but for 1 week every summer I lived on the beach in another state. I just loved the book and TV adaptation. It was very nostalgic for me. Another thing we would do during the summer would be to camp on the beach in Louisiana. There's various different beaches. One beach was basically at the mouth of the river, and we would go camping there on the River Batcher. And also we would go down to Fourchon, not Grand Isle, almost Grand Isle, very close to Grand Isle. You have Grand Isle Beach, and then you had Elmer's Island, which was like a wildlife refuge. It is like a conservation area that just, is protecting wildlife and all that stuff. And then you had Fourchon Beach, which is where we used to always go. We would go on Fourchon Beach with my dad's little Toyota pickup truck, and then after that Toyota pickup truck, he got a Ford Aerostar van, the one that was a little bit longer in the back. It had a little extra cargo space. We would ride all the way down to the end of what was considered the 7-mile beach, and there used to be a channel that would separate that beach that we were on, Fourchon, from the next beach over, Elmer's Isle. Camping was so much fun. I absolutely adore camping. I think I enjoyed spending my days at the condo a little more. It was a little bit better. There was air conditioning at all times, whereas on the beach there is no air conditioning. We wouldn't be able to camp at Fort Jackson during the summer, however. It would have to be late summer, early fall when you camped there on the River Batcher. And that is because the river is pretty high until around September. So this picture you can see circled, there is a little bit of a beach around the trees or whatever, and here it's gone. You can see here there's again a beach. It just depends on the time of season. The river gets really low in September, and we used to go fishing on the River Batcher at Fort Jackson, which is in the Buras Triumph area of Louisiana. We would go fishing there all the time for my father's birthday, which is in the beginning of September. I don't know which beach I loved camping more at, Fourchon or Fort Jackson, but both of them were absolutely phenomenal. So some of the pictures are just really cool. We got an underwater camera and totally took underwater pictures. This is a picture of me. I borrowed a pair of my friend's pants. I have another picture. They're like really bad. They're so old. I'll probably put them on the screen. But I borrowed these pants from a friend, and that is a Good Charlotte shirt. Oh my goodness. So one year we went, they totally had like a storm or something that came through and knocked down some of the trees. And what they did, instead of like completely taking the tree out, is they carved really cool statues, sculptures. It's definitely a sculpture. So let's see, my nieces swimming, the pool. If you were at the end of the pool, that's just another, I think that's literally the same picture. Maybe not. No, it's different. When you were at the other end of this pool, I don't know who this fella is, so I'm just gonna, over here. So this is one end facing the north and this is facing the south. When you were facing the south, this is what you saw. Beautiful. So we have family pictures, all kinds of people. It was just a place that we loved going. It was so much fun. Oof. This had to be in the end of the night. My daddy looked drunk. My daddy like, happy to be here. Just happy to be here. And the balcony. We had a balcony. That's my niece. I was like 1.5 when she was born. 2 maybe. So yeah. Wow. I've always been an aunt, just about. So I just remembered this about the balcony, but when I was like 5 years old, I accidentally spilled bubbles. And unfortunately, there was someone on the balcony below us, and the bubbles got all over her hair. Oh. Yeah, I have dreams about the condo. I also dream about Fort Jackson and Fushun. All my dreams are usually places I've been. Me and my orange. I loved orange this year. Oh, that's when you look down from our balcony. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah. Underwater. I have to get an underwater camera. I have to find one. Do they still make them? Can I just put my phone in a Ziploc bag? A waterproof bag or something? I think you can get those nowadays. These are dated 1998. The little statue. This one looks like it's been through the flood. Anything that I have that always looks wrecked, I'm just like, it looks like it's been through the flood. These look like they've been through the flood. It's really beautiful. It was at dusk. And it was towards the beach. But I'm going to try and upload all these and brighten them up a little bit, sharpen them. And here we have a whole bunch of pictures that were just taken at the condo or on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi. So these are just a lot of random pictures, and then we'll get back to talking a little bit.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself. And I see you shine in every color, resting your head in my arms. You sing la la la. Sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll news for you. Unexpected surprise, now you're on the hook. Guess what, I booked a ticket for two. I feel stressed and depressed, I feel stuck in a route. It's time we get a brand new start. So get dressed, pack your bags, feel the holiday mood. You won't believe what we're about to do. 'Cause we're off, California. I long to wrap my arms around you. Wanna love and renew you. Do all the things we used to do. Feel my toes in the sand, let my hair in the wind. I feel the love that we once shared. Here we come, California. Come and bring us back to life. Bring us to life. Bring us to life. Bring us to life. I feel stressed and depressed, I feel stuck in a route. Oh baby, baby, get on the plane, let's get it. So get dressed, pack your bags, feel the holiday mood. You won't believe what we're about to do. 'Cause we're off, California. I long to wrap my arms around you. Wanna love and renew you. Do all the things we used to do. Feel my toes in the sand, let my hair in the wind. I feel the love that we once shared. Here we come, California. Come and bring us back to life.
I just love it. It was so much fun. It was a wonderful experience. And watching The Summer I Turned Pretty just reminded me so much of all of that. All of the things that we did. So the last year we went was 2004, I believe. I believe 2004 was the last year that we went. They were not open for the 2005 season because I think there was just like a really active Gulf of Mexico that year. The 2003 season was the last year I went as like a preteen, and then I think 2004 was like the first year that I went as like a teen, like, oh, this is my coming of age story. And we were not able to go back ever again because Katrina. But that's something I always think about. People are always talking about New Orleans for Katrina, but New Orleans still has landmarks. New Orleans still has their bridges. Did y'all see what happened to Gulfport, Ocean Springs, Bay St. Louis? Did y'all see what happened to them? They don't have landmarks. They don't have bridges, not the same ones at least. All of it was leveled completely. They were on the eastern side of the storm. The things that still stand, I'm surprised they still stand, because a lot of Gulfport, it just doesn't look the same as it did in the 90s and early 2000s. The things that still stand, I am surprised they still stand, because Gulfport and Biloxi and Waveland, Bay St. Louis, Ocean Springs, all of it really had a beating due to Katrina's just force. And she really, like, she came in hot, and the eastern side just was decimated, unfortunately. Some things that I grew up with, like the, what was it called? Marine Life down 49, like all the way down 49. I loved the Marine Life. I loved that gravity defying room or whatever. They have one in Boone, North Carolina, and I've been there twice. It's like a similar concept type thing. The one in Gulfport used to have, I think, am I tripping, or you used to be able to, I think, pour water up the Or was it just balls? I think you could do balls too, but anyways, it was great. You know, the ethics of some of those like SeaWorld type places are questionable, but this was similar to the Gulfarium in Destin, or Fort Walden Beach. I think it's actually Fort Walden Beach, but it's similar to that, as it's more helpful to these animals. They are trying to help the animals. It's not like some of the ones where it's like, hey, you're a show pony, like Shamu, you know, poor Shamu. It's not really like that, to where it's like, you're here for this, we're not really going to treat you all that great, though. It's a little bit different in my opinion, but some people might be like, yeah, no, it's all the same. I do believe that they are helping a lot of the animals and they're not hurting. The only thing about the Gulfarium, and I'm getting off subject, the video is basically over, but let me just finish this thought. Why was there penguins there? I was like, oh my gosh, why are the penguins here? It is too hot. It is too hot for me. I think it's too hot for a penguin. There was like really cold water misting on them, but at the same time, or I'm assuming it was really cold. If it wasn't really cold, shame on them. I'm assuming that the cold water helped, and that they probably had the water in the pool temperature controlled and it was cool water. But at the same time, I was like, Florida? That's a little hot for penguins, right? Like, I wouldn't have them in Louisiana. I wouldn't have them in Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia. I don't think that's suitable anywhere in the United States. Okay? Send it back to Antarctica. But also, they used to have them at the New Orleans Aquarium. I don't know if they still do. But I was just like, okay, this is questionable. I don't know why. I'm sure they take care of them. I'm sure. But that was the only thing that I was like, why? Why are we doing this? It's hot. It's hot. It's genuinely hot. But anyways, that is enough of me rambling about summer and all of the fun things summer usually offers. I absolutely love it. It's great. Let's go ahead and end the video. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.